I say, well, I think you should be a consultant versus salesperson.
Close to 20 years sales experience.
You know, with our database we've built, being nationwide.
We have very, very deep agricultural roots.
We have a great team. They all have a common goal. I want to help them, they want to help me.
As a team, the synergy we put into a project is hard to beat.
First thing to do is kind of assess, what the property is, what its characteristics are.
We'll start gathering information, that they'll be looking at, FSA maps, soil maps.
Whether it's a listing, an auction, or, whether there's another alternative that's better altogether. I mean, we want to do what's best for them at the end of the day.
Start by putting together a comprehensive proposal.
If you got a proposal, you'd be like, man, this is 60 pages of
soil maps, we do Google Maps, zoning maps, as well as getting drone footage.
You get a look at the farm if we decide it's a good piece for auction. There's usually about a 45-day marketing window. I mean, between all the websites and then social media, that's a huge push we have. If you look at us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram.
We're always trying to think of better ways to do things, fresher ways to do things, more efficient ways to do things.
It's amazing what kind of reach you can get.
No stone goes left unturned prior to the auction. That everything's perfection between whether it's the online presence on our website, the MLS systems that we use. We build out a marketing schedule.
I mean, we send flyers to the neighbors within 5 miles and then a postcard to every landowner with 40 acres or more in a county.
So from the time that we sign up an auction until the day of the auction, talking with farmers, landowners, basically trying to pre-sell that land ahead of time.
And a lot of times that's the extra bid or two that pushes it to a price that, meets or exceeds the seller's expectations.
And then day of the auction, we usually have a minimum of 4 to 6 people there, working the auction. On bigger auctions, upwards of a dozen. The auctions are broadcast live on social media, so family members across the country can watch, to see how the auction's going. Not only family members, but potential bidders. So you can bid online, you can bid on the phone. Everybody really does do their best to take care of the clients.
People only get one chance to sell their farm. And so I think they owe it to themselves and they owe it to their families. They really do seek out, professional help.
The greatest satisfactions we receive out of working in this industry is when we're able to help a family in the proper transition of their agricultural asset.
Working with Peoples was very easy. Clear through the closing, everything was great. It was just an easy experience. I guess the bottom line is I need to sell the place, and they did a very good job.
A typical week as a land manager.
So this has always been my favorite question. Given what time of year we're in, it's a completely different day.
It's just this really nice combination of getting out on farms, meeting with tenants, hopping in the truck, looking at projects.
Budgets, crop rotations, cropping plans.
Being involved in this industry, working with clients, improving soil health, making the farms more valuable than when we got them is a true passion of mine, and it resonates through our entire team.
I see People's Company as a really innovative company where we each have our expertise, we each have our specialty.
Our managers are not selling your farm one day, wearing a hat, the next day they're trying to appraise your farm. All of our managers manage, all of our appraisers appraise, and that served us very well, and that's pretty unique in the industry.
People's Company has a commitment to continuous improvement of our farm management team.
We are members of the ASFMRA, which is the Association of Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers.
And we feel it's important for all of our managers to be involved with that organization and pursue those accreditations. Through that education, it allows us to do our jobs better.
At People's Company, farms are more than just a piece of dirt. We like to view them as an asset.
Our management approach is making sure that land is there and viable for the next generations.
There's two variables at play there. One is the annual cash-on-cash return, and the other is the long-term capital appreciation.
We keep detailed records of everything that goes into that farm. We drone every farm every year.
What we find is that when we properly care for a farm and properly maintain it, we can maximize both of those.
Being a land manager is being the eyes and ears and liaison to the land for the landowner.
And I just love working with landowners, helping them meet their goals and objectives.
When we meet a client for the first time, we have a process we follow to ensure that we cover all the bases and all aspects.
We have a proven process, 6-step process, that walks our clients through exactly how we are going to manage their farm from the day we show up at their dinner table all the way through the deliverables and the results.
I think the most important part of working with the landowner is listening to them.
We're going to ask a lot of questions to get to understand the history of the farm, to understand the current operations of that farm, and to understand what's important to the landowner.
They're coming to us with a challenge, a unique opportunity.
Then that determines the action that we're going to take moving forward with engaging prospective farm operators and the end results that we're looking for.
Finding the right tenant or operator is crucial for every farm that we're involved with.
We think by spending extra time on selecting the right farm operator, it really saves us a lot of hassle and headache down the road.
Because you want a tenant that's not afraid to call you up and say, hey, we got a little issue here.
So we can be proactive versus reactive, and our whole philosophy is based on that. And aligning ourselves with good operators and tenants across the country really drives that portion of our business.
When it comes to leasing your farmland asset, we have a lot of different options, and it really comes down to capturing the risk thresholds of those landowner clients.
If you want very little risk, cash rent or a flex lease is for you. If you want to take an active interest in the crop and have a little bit more risk with reward, then custom farming or direct operations would be your route.
People's Company was the first private farm management firm in the country to be certified to the Leading Harvest Sustainability Standard in 2021.
With Leading Harvest, we're trying to build soil health.
It's based on taking the regional best practices, really allowing the operator the space to do what's best on their farm. What we're focused on is continuous improvement.
We've really built our management strategy on core principles that can be applied anywhere.
Making sure you document yield and fertility, improving soil health, cleaning the farm up, capital improvement projects. Then that drives that long-term appreciation.
There's really not a part of the United States we're not geared up to deal with.
We're managing or consulting in nearly half the states across the country. We can implement our process and our plan, and we can make it happen.
We strive for perfection, and we work to achieve excellence in all that we do.
Agricultural properties are just as, if not more complex than any other asset, but also the people that you work with are really great.
You know, being on farms, talking to owners, talking to operators, it's pretty fulfilling at the end of the day to know that you get to help people in those business decisions.
At Peoples, we have so many knowledgeable appraisers in many different market areas. We have the team to be able to cover anything agricultural that needs appraised.
Orchards, vineyards, dairy farms, hog facilities, just about anything related to agriculture.
Just always keeps you thinking and keeps it interesting. You're not just doing the same thing every day.
We make it a priority to understand not only the properties that we're working on, but what needs our client specifically has, really what their goals are with that property, and really give them national service with local understanding and local knowledge.
We have such a good, dynamic group of appraisers that are diverse in their experience, and we have a well-rounded team, and I think that that's important.
We know what's going on in agriculture anywhere. We have resources, and they all affect each other. They all work together. It's important to see the whole picture and not just one piece of the picture.
Our clients can range anywhere from institutional investors, traditional lenders, attorneys. Sometimes it's even just a private property owner that just wants to understand where their property is in the market.
We know that when we get a People's Company appraisal, it's well done, it's accurate, and we feel very comfortable with the value that we receive.
We are in the problem-solving business.
Every appraisal we work on has a different problem, a different property. No two are the same.
It's our job to interpret the market. Service and client expectations are taken very seriously. We want to make sure that we're doing and putting out a good quality product for our clients.
There's a lot of reasons to be excited about farmland as an investment right now. Farmland as an asset class has a lot of upside in developing markets and developing revenue sources.
You don't have a lot of CapEx issues. It's a pretty straightforward asset class.
I think what's really special about the agricultural land market is that there's a little something for everybody.
Farmland and ag production systems across the U.S. are very diverse.
We can really derive what an investor needs and what they're looking for and match them to the perfect farmland asset and help them achieve their goals.
The first meeting with the People's Company Capital Markets team, we want to dig in and understand your investment parameters.
We focus on understanding investors' needs and creating a set of investment mandates based on
your capital needs, your return requirements, geographical preferences,
what their goals are, what their appetite for risk is.
We put a lot of effort into really tailoring it to your specific needs more than anything.
Deal flow is the key differentiator in the agricultural space. Agriculture is still a very local business.
And a very small amount of it actually transacts annually.
Maybe even up to half of the deals trade off market. The really powerful engine for us is actually the broader People's Company infrastructure.
We have professionals in every major region providing boots on the ground, understanding the unique differences in each region.
One of the things we're strongest at is kind of our access to deal flow.
Referral sources and long-term relationships that we've built out, which really allows us to be in a lot of different places at once.
We're able to tap into a lot of different markets that other places may not be able to.
We do work all across the country, from the Pacific Northwest down to the West Coast, the High Plains, all the way through the Midwest, down to the Mississippi Delta, and about everywhere in between.
Capital markets is unrivaled in the industry in our ability to provide a wide variety of investment structures.
We can look at an asset, look at its characteristics, and be able to get it into the most favorable capital structure.
Whether that be separate accounts, private offerings, syndicated offerings, the DST investment structure across all regions of the country and within numerous production types.
One thing that's made farmland more investable is the emergence of professional land managers like People's Company.
Local managers with that local market knowledge and that local production knowledge in different ag regions.
Our group comes from rural America.
We all share a passion for agriculture.
We work hard, doesn't matter day or night. We're always trying to exceed expectations.
I invite you to reach out to our team to learn more about the farmland asset class and how you can leverage it in your portfolio.
The energy industry is always evolving and it's highly complex.
You've got mineral rights, you've got oil and gas royalties, you've got the renewable side of it, wind, solar.
For people who own these types of assets, but it's not in their area of expertise, it can be very overwhelming. People's Company saw a need to provide a clear and accurate management of specialty assets.
We handle assets anywhere from single individual interest owners all the way up to large institutions.
Each client has unique needs, whether it's a family or an individual who just has an accounting need versus a financial institution who is dealing with regulatory and risk management. We work in all aspects of the energy industry, whether that's oil, gas, mineral ownership, as well as solar and renewable, and we cover the entire country. Wherever the activity is, we're capable and have boots on the ground to properly manage those assets.
We want to make sure that we're adding value to your portfolio. We want to give you the peace of mind and the ease that your assets are being handled diligently.
In our energy management division, we provide a full suite of services, which includes revenue accounting, GIS mapping, lease negotiation, and anything else involving these unique assets.
We are there to help them understand their assets and their portfolio, but also to help grow that portfolio where needed and also help divest when necessary.
We also have a dashboard. It's state-of-the-art. It provides a fully transparent process for the client. They can see exactly where their assets are, how they're performing, and then they can interact with that data in whatever way is appropriate for whatever it is they're trying to accomplish. But one thing we're most passionate about is providing the best client experience.
I enjoy helping people, and so knowing that what I'm doing is making a difference for our clients, understanding their assets and helping them add value to their portfolio.
It's very important to us to remain accessible to our clients by having quick response times, also spending the time that we need to really understand what the goals are and then helping to achieve those.
I invite anyone that's interested in hearing more about our services or just interested in learning more about the energy industry to give us a call.
Crop insurance has become really fundamental for farmland in the United States. It's the only investment-grade asset class in the entire world where you can get a federally subsidized minimum annual revenue guarantee.
Crop insurance is a great way to alleviate some of the risk involved with your yearly growing procedures. My name is Craig Nielsen, and I am the manager of the crop insurance department at People's Company.
Creating this minimum annual revenue guarantee through the federal crop insurance program adds stability that allows people to invest in better practices, invest in farmland with confidence that we're going to have solid returns on an annual basis, even with the risks of farming.
I have had clients call me in the middle of the night holding their phone up to the ceiling saying, "Can you hear it hailing? Do I have my coverage in place? Am I going to be all right?" It's a good feeling to know that you have that client's best interests at heart. That guarantee, that APH, that revenue protection, whatever plan that they bought should suffice them to make sure that they can actually grow again the next year.
Crop insurance has become so fundamental in establishing long-term asset values. Guaranteed revenue impacts asset value. That data, what that insurable revenue is to the asset value, is critical for appraisers. It's critical for brokers, for land managers, in being able to make sure that they're giving their landowner clients the best outcomes. And then certainly on the capital market side, we need to understand where we have opportunities in terms of acquiring new assets and then ultimately creating the best outcomes from long-term management.
One of the things that really drew me to People's Company was their ability to have departments working together with one another between insurance, appraisals, brokerage, land management. We have the best interests of the client at heart, and we can use each other as resources to make the overall best decisions we can on behalf of our clients.